Hello there. Here is a video on reading and writing files actually from Custom NPCs, and it's something that I was doing something with, and I kind of made a whole example out of it. It's you can write read and write functions to between custom NPCs, or you could just write files. There's a variety of different things you could do with this information, but so I just made it into a whole example. I just put together a couple different things here, and I'll show you what's going on. Let's see. In this guy, this is the guy's writes things. Okay, so in here, when I click on him, he opens up a file writer from the Java, which you can access. And oops. That should be okay. That'll work though. I did have a different path for that, but that'll work. So he opens up a file, then he writes this function into it, this text into that file, which is a function, which is just you pass the function a variable, and it will multiply that by 50, and then it will return that result, is all that does. So, and that's in file XYZ. I click on him and there is a file XYZ. And over here, what this guy does, he runs that function, and I'll show you how he does it. He I interact on him, he opens up the stream to that file, reads that file. Now I'm not quite sure about this Java stuff. This is something Nope's had, and I just copied it. It works, it's Java. I don't understand why you have to read a file like this, but basically you're reading it character by character and putting it together. Maybe there's better ways of doing it, but it does work. If someone knows Java, maybe they could make it a little slicker. But so anyway, all the file goes into this variable start, and what this guy does, so all this is reading that file into that variable start. Then he says that variable start, which is a text string basically. Then I use the JavaScript function evaluate, or eval, to evaluate that text string, which is a function, and I put it in this variable, and then I run that function right here with this number in it. So that's going to be 10 times 50, which is going to be 500. So if I would change that, it would be, if I did 20, that would be 1,000. So that's what that does. Now then, what you can do also, you can get a little bit more complex here, not really that much more complex, but we can just put this in here, and all this, the difference is I've got the file, the different directory to save it in. Before it was saving it in the root directory. Okay, and this is also saving this function into a temp data variable, and then it runs the function. So, but first I have to go over here and I have to put in the new thing I'm going to write, and that's going to this file S1 in this directory, and the function basically has passes two variables, A and B. So it says a.say B. So if you pass it as you can see, I'm passing it here. I'm passing it the function event NPC, and he will say what. So he says what. So it's just a function that to make him say something. Now then, you could make that a lot more complex and make them a lot more sophisticated. Function, of course, and if I change that, if I say I could actually put in here, now I have to use escape characters inside of here, but I could just say okay, something like that, and he will, oops, oh, what I forgot is a plus sign. There we go. Okay. There we go. So he says okay dash dash what now, and you can see the function down here. Okay. And as I said, he also in here, I have it that he's passing this to this variable. Now that could be done in the writing part of it, but I just put it in here just as an extra example. I was just throwing some stuff together. So what that does, you can actually come over to this guy, and he reads that variable, and he says that variable, so you can see the text of it, and then he uses that variable right there, new function. And he says, okay, well, that's great. And one more thing is this guy loads the script. Okay, so he, let's see, I was using yes. Oops. So he loads that script S1. So what he will say is, okay, this is a loaded script. Why? I'm not sure. Oh, this right here. That's that kind of. I was trying this here. That kind of messes it up because you see, it doesn't really always. We have to press it twice because I was changing the script. Yeah. See, so the first time he had the old script in there, and then he reloaded it, and so it doesn't happen the first time if you have that in there. So it's best to just do it manually. I don't know if it would work with a scripted blah. Well, I don't know. Basically, it's best if you just reload scripts manually, and then click on him, and he will say that. So, oops. I could go through and show you that just here real quick. Okay, load. Write that, and you see he has the old script in there. Now if I reload, click on him, now he has the new one. Okay, load. And that's how you do that. It's writing files. Of course, you can do lots of other things with reading and writing files. Store all sorts of information. And possibly do other things. I've been thinking about doing other things. I'm just not that good with Java. So maybe some of you are, and you can show me some examples. So thanks for watching.